Okay, so I did a three-part videos. Yeah. So I did 3 videos on the conversion of a Fender Player Series Stratocaster from just how it shows up to making it a pure metal machine. I took a used black Player Series Stratocaster, pulled the guts out of it, stripped it all the way down to the neck and the body, swapped all the hardware out for black hardware, black EMGs, black pickguard, made it as black as possible except for the fretboard. It's Pau Ferro. Maybe someday I'll buy an American Standard neck with the ebony fretboard, but until then I'm okay with it. But I have this thing where I like dualities, so I had to do a white one. So instead of buying the whole guitar outright, I bought a white Player Series Stratocaster body off of the Stratosphere, and I hadn't decided on a neck yet. I thought about going with a maple neck, but then I wasn't sure about it, or maple neck with a maple fretboard, but I wasn't 100% sure. And I keep an eye on EMG's, I forget what their store's called on Reverb, but it's like their B stock they sell. So you only get the pickups, you don't get the wiring or anything like that. And they had a white 81 and a white 60. So I bought those to throw in because I figured that'd be perfect. And I got a kind of off-white pickguard. I didn't get like a parchment, or maybe I did get parchment. I can't remember. There's like 3 different types of white for pickguards. But I got the one that it's white, but it's just a little tinted to it. Like it's not mint green, but it's not like white. Just to kind of break it up a little bit. I might eventually switch it to a white pickguard to completely match the snow white body. But until then, this kind of breaks up a little bit so it's not so like white. And then I eventually settled on a roasted maple neck with a Pau Ferro fingerboard. So everything came in, I assembled it all, put it all together, and oh, man, listen, when you buy Fender necks new, they're not, like they're pre-slotted a little bit, but you gotta do a lot of filing because, yeah, they don't do much shaping of the nuts, or obviously they don't file the grooves or the slots. So I had to file the slots, and man, that's the most tedious, boring bullshit about doing your own guitar work. And I hate it, but it's a necessary evil if you want your guitar to play really well. And I got a little overzealous, and whatever this cheap ass shit that this nut was made out of, it broke. And so that like disheartened me quite a bit. But so I ordered a bone nut to put in it, and that came in. I put the bone nut in, and I slotted it and everything. And man, that turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because this guitar, without a doubt, hands down, is the best playing guitar I have in my Fenders, because my Schecter plays pretty well and my LTDs play pretty well. So if it's not the best, it's definitely one of the best playing guitars I have. I set it up, and those strings just lay on that neck, not literally, and no dead spots, no high frets, polished the shit out of the fret ends. I mean, I put in a lot of elbow work to get this thing where it's at, and it turned out so much better than I could have ever hoped for. I love this guitar. And not only that, it sounds killer. It's all pretty much Fender parts except for the electronics, obviously. Fender bridge, bent steel saddles or Fender, Fender neck obviously, Fender locking tuners, and then the EMG 81 and 60, which out of all the B stock that I bought off of EMG, these ones are visually are the only ones that ever showed up that you look at them, it's like, okay, I see why it's B stock. There's like a weird, like, I don't know if they like screwed up with the paint when they were painting the logo on or whatever they do with the logo down in the bottom right corner of the 81, but there's like a weird like paint line or something there. So I mean, it's clear there's a visual defect, but finding white EMGs is not as easy as you think, especially if you want specific ones. Like I think I could find an 81, but I couldn't find a 60 for the longest time, and then it's just kind of serendipitously happened that they posted a 60 that day and they still had the 81 for sale, and I got them. If I find white EMGs that fit the bill better, maybe I'll spend the money, I don't know, but it doesn't bother me that much, and eventually the guitar is going to get worn in a little bit anyway, so it's not going to stay pristine forever. But yeah, this thing, anytime you assemble your own guitar from, like if you're building a parts caster or if you're doing a kit, the final product, when it all comes together, is always rewarding. But when you put in the work and really truly try to make an exceptional instrument, and it actually turns out to be an exceptional instrument, man, it feels so good. And there's times when like this guitar is actually like inspiring to play because I don't want to put it down when I pick it up, and I love it. I will never, out of all the Strats that I had, I've sold one, which was the buttercream one, because the more I looked at it, the more it was just like, it started to look more yellow than buttercream, and I originally bought it because I thought it kind of gave me that vintagey white look, and it just didn't have it anymore. But this white Strat, man, I will never get rid of it. I love this guitar. So that leads me to anybody out there that's done, if you guys have done parts casters or kits or anything like that, have you had one that you just put in every ounce of work that you could to make it great and just fell in love with it or anything like that? Let me know in the comments below, and you know, while you're there, if you could hit thumbs up, or I guess thumbs down too if you didn't like the video, and subscribe. It helps me out, it helps you out, because you get recommended more of my videos, you get recommended videos by other guitar channels, because it's just how YouTube works, and everybody wins in the end. You get something that you might like, I get some support, these other guys get some support. It's a win-win situation for everybody involved. So anyways, like always guys, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch, and we'll see you in the next one.